Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fitness Coaching with Lois. I own Fitness Coaching, where we send one of our team out to your home office or meet you online. Today, we're helping you reach your fitness goals. We're talking about life-work balance and especially about making the switch. So do you ever wonder what it would be like to pick up, sell everything, and move? Well, today we're going to be talking about that. But next week, we're going to be talking about stopping stress in 3 seconds or less with Ty Kane and Valerie Lemmy. So definitely tune in for that one. That'll be a really good talk. And I guarantee you will absolutely get rid of your stress. So today we're talking to Cydny Voicechofsky. She is an American expat living in Hanoi, Vietnam. So cool. And she's basically gained micro-influencer status. I've known Cydny for, I don't know how many years, a long, long time. And we used to teach together, and I'm really excited to have you on today. So welcome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you. It's so great to see your face, even though you're literally halfway across the world. So what time is it there right now?
So it is currently 8:18 p.m. on the same day as you, Saturday.
Wow. So it's like a whole different time, like time of the day. Like right now it's just barely morning here. Most people are just waking up to watch. So really excited to have an early morning one. Normally we do them in the afternoon, but this is a nice change up, and we usually do them during the week. So, I recently read an article on CNN, basically in the last week, that said the job market is so crazy right now, and it's a complete mess, really, especially in New Jersey. And I know a lot of people are thinking about making the switch. So what I love about Cydny is she is just so brave, and she and her husband just up last year and left. And they didn't just go to another country that spoke English. They went to another country that speaks a completely different language, a completely different culture. And I'm so proud of you, truthfully, Cydny. But at the same time, like, I was so scared. Like, holy moly, how brave of you. So tell us, what it's like. A lot of people are struggling with the whole work-life balance. And I know that there's no perfect work-life balance, right? And I know we have to accept that. But before you guys moved, did you feel burned out? I know, maybe tell us a little bit about what you were doing first.
Not right before we moved, which made it. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you just fluttered for a second. Go ahead, start.
Okay.
There you
go. So before, right before we moved, I was in a good state. I wasn't burnt out. And I think that's what made this choice a lot easier. Okay. But I did reach burnout before that, which made me make already big changes in my life and my career that made this option a lot more appealing during that time. So yes, I used to have my own business. It was an event entertainment and promotional marketing company. It was a very, very hectic business to be in, and I loved every bit of it. It was my baby at the time, and I hustled and worked hard at it, but it got to a point that I lost touch of my work-life balance. I am someone who is a bit of a workaholic. I think anyone coming from that New Jersey, New York area has that in them. And then being a dancer on top of it, all we knew was like to better ourselves and work, and because you had to hustle because you didn't have a normal job. So that was my whole life. And my husband looked at the world very differently than me. So he was like, you are not in a good place right now. And I wasn't happy. And he kind of brought that on me. And I realized I had to let go of something that was that was successful to me, and it was really, really hard to do. And I think that burnout on top of like depression and everything to make that change was really, really hard. But the moment I did that, I started to finally realize what work-life balance actually was.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't have to live my life this way. And I started doing work in different areas, and my career's changed a little bit during that time, but I was kind of free to make different choices. So when this opportunity for Vietnam came up, which was a very unique opportunity that kind of just fell on our laps, it was a lot easier for me to say, let's do it. And my husband is at least someone that's like, we can make it happen anywhere, and he jumped on it right with me. So
that's so cool. That's so interesting. So I love that you said you weren't burning out right then, like right before you made the switch. So you kind of really thought about it first before you made the change. I think that's a thing that a lot of people right now, especially, are just ready to just jump on any particular thing that comes their way because you're just looking for an out, so to speak. So I think that's really good advice there. So what did you learn, or what did you do to really like jump off and switch? You're like, I don't know, we just did it.
I mean, yeah, if you know anything about me as a person, I am someone who is just always willing to go for the adventure. I'm okay. I actually like the thrill of like just starting something new and trying it out. I like that challenge, and that's just been my whole life. And so this came up. My husband wasn't looking for a job. He's the one who got the job abroad. It was just a unique opportunity. We love to travel, but we never thought that we could live abroad due to, I used to have a business, and due to what he does specifically is not something that's really commonly understood abroad. It's really an American-made type job.
Yeah.
So he's an athletic trainer, which you have at like high schools and stuff. If you go anywhere like Australia or Canada or Europe, they have physios, like a physical therapist, but they don't have athletic trainers that work specifically on athletic injuries. So that's a rare thing to find. So when it popped up and it said Vietnam, we were like, what? What is this? So I told him right away, I'm like, just check it out. Just hear it out, see what it has to say. And he had a great job and he loved his job before, but the way it was presented was almost so perfect and so easy. It's like, if you said no to this, you'd be crazy. Like, it made the idea of moving abroad, like, here it is on a silver platter. We do it all for you. You don't have to stress about it. And you get that experience. You're like, well, if we're ever going to do this, this is how we're going to do it. In worst case scenario, we put our 2 years in and we go back home, or we end up staying, and this opens up a whole nother door to our life. So,
yeah. So what's it been like? Do you really like it there?
I love it. I mean, I love it. It's completely backwards from everything we know, like everything we know. But it's beautiful.
I'm just curious, being nosy here. What's the thing that's been like the most kind of? I know you mentioned before we came on that one of the things that is crazy is that they have a phrase for something, and it could mean like 15 different things. That's kind of like English in many respects, but not that many, usually like 3 or 4.
Yeah. I mean, well, the language in itself is a tonal language, which is a rare thing. You don't often have that. So basically there's those like little enunciation marks on how you say the word, and you can say a word high pitch, low pitch, staccato, and it could be the same word, but the way you say it means different things. And that's very difficult to get used to. But another big thing to me is I don't drive a car anymore. I ride a motorbike. And motorbikes are everywhere, and there's no rules to the road. It doesn't matter what lane you're in. There's no real stop signs. Everyone passes at different times. It is just wild out there. And like, that took some serious getting used to.
Wow. So like no rules on the road. Do they have a lot of accidents?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But just Google like motorbike in Hanoi, Vietnam, and like you'll find slews of YouTube videos, and you will understand what I mean. It took some getting used to.
Wow, we should talk offline about that, because I have so many questions, but they're not related to what we're talking about.
Sorry.
So tell me, what's balance to you? How do you maintain, now that you're in this new culture, how do you maintain a life-work balance? Now you have you're running 3 different Instagram channels, right?
Yeah.
Probably in some other
more, actually. So I told you I was like a workaholic. I came here and I obviously couldn't sit still for too long. I had to find my purpose in some way. But it was also at the same point, I was trying really hard to accept what this is. Like, there's a big role to be the spouse, and it's weird to just be a spouse here. And it's because the money goes a lot farther. The dollar goes a lot farther here. So there isn't that stress of always having to have extra work. Where at home, you do have that stress. There's always the pressure of having to pay bills. It's expensive to live in America. And it was a weird spot to be in, to be like, well, my husband's working really hard, and my focus is, because we're in a new country, to learn the ways of this country, to learn the ways of the world, to make our house a home, which was, you know, ordering furniture is a different way to order furniture when you have a language barrier. And so I really try to focus my time on that and not get too ahead of myself to find like my career here. Yeah. But obviously it didn't take too long before I found like something to make it myself.
Something to keep yourself busy. I see all of your sticky notes. It kind of looks like my yeah, this one.
I do.
My desktop. And I throw them out as I go.
Me too.
Yes. Helped me so much in like my to-do list. I don't like checklists. I like sticky notes. So I just stick them everywhere, and as I complete, I just chuck them.
So much better. And then you can color coordinate it. I love it.
Well, that's really interesting. So before your move, did you feel like you had a balance with your husband and your personal life and work? And then now, comparatively speaking, do you feel like you have a better balance now that you've made the switch?
Yeah. And I think it's like what I was saying before. I think there is an underlying pressure, especially in the tri-state area, to hustle. It's like, if you're not getting there, the next person is. Like, that's just the mentality. I mean, we've all heard it, not work-life balance. We all hear like work harder, play harder. And you feel that pressure even when you're trying to get out of it as much as you can. I mean, I feel like even at yoga studios, it's like, who's doing the better yoga pose? Like, you're still not like actually finding this peace. And to finally be here and realize that you can be like financially okay. Like, I mean, really, you can have a full dinner for $2. If you really
$2 American?
Yeah, $2 American. I mean, you can have a beer for like 50 cents.
Wow, so beer is really expensive. You can tell where they're value structure.
So,
wow. Because a beer is not that much more, I think, but I don't drink beer, so I don't know. But that's insane. So for $2, you can get. Wow, that's amazing. So do you have any tips for people that are considering making a switch, whether it's their job or whether it's, you know, their relationship, or whether, I mean, granted, relationships and jobs are a little different than moving, but I feel like it's the same steps that go into it. Do you have any tips for people that they could take away?
I think a lot of people just have a massive fear of the unknown and live in a constant state of what if. And instead of just trusting who they are and what they can accomplish. And I think that was always been a driving force between me and my husband, that we always knew, you know what, like, we're gonna be okay. We know how to work. We've been in rough situations, and we've been in great situations, and we've been back to rough situations again. But no matter what, we knew, like, we have the mentality to succeed.
Right.
Always. Just like, we're not going to let ourselves fail. We're going to keep a roof over our heads. If we have to eat canned tuna for a week, that's okay. We will figure it out. And we always have. And I think people just need to have trust, because I feel like I hear from people all the time through my Instagram pages that, like, I want to travel more, but I'm afraid. I want to do this. But, like, well, if there's a desire, do your research and really feel it, and to think if you could just give it a try. Give it a try. This was our try. We lucked out. It was easy enough. It was almost, if we said no, we would have regretted it. So,
right. I love just the thought of trust in yourself. It's such a simple thing, but it's really just knowing what you know and not overthinking it too much. Obviously thinking about it, but not overthinking it. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So why don't you tell us really quick, because we're running low on time, but tell us really quick about if people want to follow you, or the different channels you have. I know I follow you everywhere. So
yeah, I a lot of channels, but since I've gotten here, I started like a micro influencer account called Where in Hanoi. So if you are ever to go to Hanoi, Vietnam, you can search that, and it has nothing to do with me. It has all to do with Hanoi specifically, and it's all about places to go, where to find them, and shops, because Hanoi is a very crazy, kooky city, so it's not easy to find things. So it helps you, it guides you through the city, and that's kind of my business here. And then I also started a new one called Voice of Social, hence my last name. And it's all about Instagram marketing and branding, because after owning a small business and realizing what kind of power I've built on Instagram itself, I really want to help small businesses specifically find their niche on Instagram, because I think it's a great source for all businesses there.
very cool. Very cool. That was so awesome. So definitely check those out. I'll put those up one more time. So you can see them if you want to follow her handles. And yeah, that's a really.
We should jazz hand it because we're dancers.
Little dancing action from back in the day. But again, I'm Lois from Fitness Coaching. Definitely tune in for our next one about stopping stress in 3 seconds or less. Again with Valerie Lemmy and Ty Kane. That's going to be a really good one next Thursday. And again, if you need help with exercise from a perspective of online or in person, definitely reach out to me. That's my info. And have a great rest of your day. Cydny, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.